Hello, and welcome back to Soulstar Radio. And I did promise my producer Dave, that funky guy in the US, I promised him a rap, and he said, no, make it a gangster rap, except rap is new to me. It's not my culture, and I hate cultural appropriation. That said, I have actually dropped some poems. I know, right? But I haven't kind of got that happening, and I'm certainly not into this freestyling. So when I've got that together, I do have something to say that will be, it's from the heart. But I'm going to wait until I've really brought that down and downloaded that into something that's kind of really happening to bring that to air. Because there's a lot going on at the moment, and I'm finding myself, and I don't know whether you've been feeling this too, but I know that myself, a lot of clients, a lot of people I'm coming into contact with are really feeling emotional right now, and really feeling kind of the need to purge. And so if you're sensitive and you're finding it's just like, letting all this stuff out, we look at over the last week the Me Too thing, the Me Too hashtag. There's been a lot of purging to do with that, about speaking out about abuse, speaking against people who are predatory in nature. In Australia, we have the same-sex marriage equality vote going on, postal survey, it's called, and it's kind of really been quite disturbing emotionally and energetically while that's been going on. I've actually found that difficult, and I don't have to be LGBTI to feel that. And I empathise with my friends who are, LGBTI and going through a lot here where, I don't know about you, but how can anyone else have the right to decide whether your existence is valid? I don't think that's right. The bigotry that's coming out here, and it just kind of raises those same old animosities, those same old discriminations, and, the good old thing of you should seek forgiveness, or this is a choice. Sorry, there are people who are born this way. I know that in my case, I was born psychic. It's not something, well, it is something my soul chose. It's something I agreed to before coming here, but this is who I am. Would you cut someone's arm off and tell them they should go and pick up the sugar bowl with the arm that's not there anymore? Is that what you're expecting? Because if you've got someone who's psychic, for example, and just saying what you're doing, you have no right to exist, you shouldn't be this, and people leaving this sort of stuff on my doorstep, steps to Christ. How to find peace with God. Well, thanks, but I think I've found peace with God and the goddess, Ishtar, Kali, Vishnu, Inanna, Krishna, Ganesh, happy Diwali, all of my Indian friends. I've got the candles going for you. And to all my Buddhist friends, Muslim friends, Jainist friends, my fellow pagan friends, my Wiccan friends, my shamanic friends, my indigenous friends, I say happy day to you, and thank you for being here. And also thank you, yes, to the Christians, particularly the ones who aren't kind of going against one of those 10 commandments called thou shalt not judge. This one's for you. I'm going to read this out, all right? Because, it was given to me, so I shall share it. Please thoughtfully consider this message. Decide your destiny. Eternal life through Jesus Christ, our Creator and Lord. Lord of the seventh-day Sabbath. Give your life to Jesus, seek forgiveness for sin, and obey his 10 commandments and live. Oh. What will you decide? Hang on, does that mean that if I don't obey your version of the basic instructions before leaving Earth, Bible, that I'm going to die? Geez, okay. Alrighty then. I think they closed mental health facilities that sort of institutionalised people a while ago. But, yeah, look, everyone to their own. Thank you, happy person who left that behind. Except I really didn't feel you were happy. And I also didn't feel you were not judging. Which, 10 Commandments and all. It's kind of funny because when people try shoving their beliefs onto you, which I'll never do to any of you, I'm never going to say, this is what you must do, or else. And my version of cereal is more holy than yours, possibly because it's Cheerios. I don't actually eat Cheerios, by the way, but you knew that, didn't you? I eat cereal with multiple holes in it. It's Nutri-Grain. God, I don't know. But whatever your brand of cereal or chicken or... shouldn't be eating chicken during Diwali, by the way. But anyway, by the way, I'm not actually a person who follows Diwali. This is just sort of like a big shout-out to the Diwali people. Live and let live. Be your best expression of your version of spirituality. Live that, enjoy that. Don't harm people with that. That's the most important thing. Let people be who they are. You be who you are. More than happy for you. It's just about really allowing people to follow their own beliefs rather than having judgment calls on it. If you place judgment values on other people and sort of treat them as if they're somehow less than you, what happens is, of course, we start to get recriminations, discrimination. We get people being treated wrongly. We get dehumanisation, and dehumanisation through a discrimination leads to people, obviously dehumanisation means to see someone as less valuable than you. And if you see someone as less valuable than you because they're different, then what starts to happen is all sorts of excuses can be made for really bad and sometimes frightening behaviour. And so that brings us back to the Me Too thing. If you feel that you're, in a position of entitlement where you're controlling the narrative and, you're feeling entitled to do something to someone because they're less than you, that leaves you open to feeling that it's okay to do all sorts of stuff that is not actually okay. So it's really important instead to think of how your actions might be affecting someone else, because when you do that, it stops you in your tracks if you are thinking of going in that wrong direction or a direction that harms someone. So just please have a think about that, and please also, if you're in a position of privilege, use that privilege to help other people. Speak out against social injustice. Speak out against, other white people, that are harming people of colour or minorities or people of maybe a religious minority that are not actually harming anyone. So with that in mind, and talking about dealing with a sense of how to find confidence and how to live true to your path and be where you need to be, I actually had someone write in. We've got Lena in Australia who's written in, and thank you so much for writing in, Lena. I think we've tried to get you on the phone but haven't gotten there. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for writing in and having that courage to ask that question. So I'm just going to be a moment. I've now figured out what went wrong there. So for Lena, who's written in, what I would say to you is that, yes, you're having a bit of trouble finding the path at the moment, but it's going to be really important for you to work on, I guess, what the core issues are. You are going to be finding this year that there's going to be a lot going on in your head, and you can feel as if, as if it's going to be a lot going on in your head and having to work out how much effort to put into things and when is enough. You can feel a lot of tension, head, neck, shoulders, quite on the physical level, but you can also feel like a lot going through your mind, a lot of pressure and a lot of confusion, and hence why you've asked to write in and ask about the business that you're looking at, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you in a minute as the producer will try calling you. So hopefully, if you're listening there, Lena, we'll be able to get you on a bit later. Now, we have also a caller who's on the line waiting very patiently, and I feel like he's a really nice guy. He's sort of wondering what's going on here, really. But we've got Nick in Boaz in Alabama. Are you there, Nick?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Nick, and thank you so much for calling in. I feel a lot of integrity in you and a lot of respect, and a lot of sensitivity as well. I do feel with you that you can sometimes really pick up stuff about people, but you can get very confused when it's matters of the heart more so. Now, can I get your date of birth? I can do a reading for you if you would like.
August 28, 1980.
Wow, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of heart and soul in you, and I just feel as if, I sort of get that message of Crimea River in a way. There you go. Looking at this with your numerology, whatever year number the world's in at any given time, you're in that too. So there is certainly a lot of empathy that goes on there. And this year there's a lot going on where you're having to kind of find or look at new directions. But the question you wanted me to look at for you today?
Just what does it hold for me in the near future? What does it look like for me in just the coming months or so?
What I really got there is, it's been a long journey here on some level, and it's like you're finding a way back again. And we're having to reorganise a lot of things, and that's going to feel like around the finances as well. But I do feel as if you're starting to get things organised again and looking at life in a bit of a different way. And I feel having to put yourself first more, and to me it's like you're having to lift up your energy a lot more as well. So when I'm looking at your energy and what's going on for you, I feel like we're turning the corner. We're getting out past the most difficult stuff now. You just have to keep this one step at a time, moving ahead and not allowing the little, blocks in the road that can look challenging to defeat you or to distract you from what your real course of action is, because it's very easy to get discouraged based on the past or based on what's been happening here, but by taking the proactive and forward steps gently and having the patience and flexibility under these circumstances, that's going to definitely be arming you with an awareness when an opportunity is in front of you that, yes, this is the right opportunity, or when something's in front of you that's just not going to be right. It'll help you know that you're kind of wasting your time a whole lot quicker. And I would see a shift in the home life going on here, being able to, it's like having liftoff and we get going again. Next year's really productive. We're building something new, and you're able to feel a lot more stable in the home environment from next year onwards. And to me as well with that, a lot of changes are really positive, and it's like when we look ahead in 2 years' time, you won't know yourself compared to where things have been. But yeah, I'm seeing things really improving on that scale.
Good. And it's funny you mentioned finances, because that's a big issue right now is finances.
Yeah, and look, I feel the thing is you're someone who you're very philosophical. You don't like to complain. You don't write crazy long statuses about woe is me on Facebook. You're very resourceful. And you really don't hang out with people who do write those things. It's just like, nah, I'm just doing stuff, I'm just keep it simple. Yeah. And you've got some really good traditional values there. I would love to have a beer with you at some point. You're kind of that guy I could sit and have a beer with. And I actually don't drink beer. I'm actually allergic to barley, just so that you know. So it would be a platonic
I don't drink beer either, so we'd have to figure out something different.
God, yeah. But it's just you really have that real sense of soul. But I'm feeling the tears here, and I'm just saying, don't worry. Because this is passing. You can see that it's passing. Just take your time with this. Keep plodding along. Patience is definitely helping you. And you'll know from past experience with some of the flashy people that have come past 10 times gone by who are not patient, and look at where it has gotten them that you're now currently seeing. So do not worry. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yes, ma'am. Sure does.
So just keep holding on to the positives here. They are there. They are findable, and we've just got to breathe. Just keep breathing. Just imagine you're at a really complex yoga class and the yoga instructor's come on and gone, right, I'll just bend your leg a bit further. And you're like, oh, and they're going, just breathe. It'll be fine. It'll breathe. You'll feel better afterwards, trust me. And, you know, whilst you're going through that intensity and feel like if you could only reach up, you would kill them, and you're actually a pacifist, so that's even weirder. You know, while that's happening, you're convinced this is not going to end. And then when it does end, you stand up and go, oh, my God, my back stopped hurting. Those hamstring stretch was fantastic. So at the moment we can say that you're the life instructor called yoga or yoga called life instructor. I don't know which and I don't care. And you don't either, which is good. It's stretching your hamstrings.
If they started bending me around, I would probably think they were breaking me in two because it's not very flexible.
Hello. Hello, right? Life is giving you a flexibility lesson right now, and boy, it's hurting. But it's going to feel good afterwards. Just try and make sure you actually, literally, physically get some hamstring stretches, please, because your lower back's going to feel a lot better. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what I would do is I would sit on the floor, legs out in front of you, and slowly stretch the legs, well, not too far, and then just reach forward, try and do it where we're reaching the hands forward in the middle, and then eventually just stretch the leg a bit further, stretching a bit further forward, and just, you know, that gives a nice stretch into that whole hip and all that sort of area, and that lower back is going to feel a lot better. And by the way, lower back is, metaphorically speaking, it's all about support, which you've been feeling a complete lack of. So, you know, this will help a lot. And, you know,
I had a car wreck, the lower back is my problem, so.
Hello, and you know something? You've needed this laugh a whole lot more than what I've actually said. You know, because life has not been funny lately, but it's getting better, don't worry. You just got to, like me, just hang on in there and go, I will get out of bed. You know, because, frankly, there's a lot of crazy in the world right now, and, so we've just got to kind of just go, yoga. It's all right. I'm just going to hang on through this, going to get out the other side, and, you know, I mean, next year's the Earth Dog. Things have got to cool down a bit, and dogs are usually about loyalty, but as we found out in the White House, sometimes they're about insanity too. So you see, we've got a president.
Yes, the White House is insane right now. Yes.
We've got a fire dog in the White House. Yep, we've got a fire dog in the White House, and the last time we had a fire dog in the White House was George W. Bush, so I'm just explaining that in one sentence. So we've just got to hang on through this. We're going to get out the other side. It's going to be all right. But, you know, just love and hug people that need it right now, and remember the hamstring stretches. Thank you so much for your call, Nick. May love and the force be with you. Okay. All righty, off you go, Nick. They're good boys, won't you? You're welcome. He needed that laugh, you know. Now, I know I did. So hopefully everyone got something out of that. You know, laughter. Some people say, oh, Jacqueline, you make me laugh so much. That's so funny. You're crazy. No. Yes, possibly. I don't care. Life in the world is crazy right now. So, frankly, it's a new version of sanity, I think. And, Lena, are you there? Have we got Lena? Is Lena around?
I am. Hi there.
Woo! Hello, Lena. It's fabulous to hear from you, and I think you could probably do with a laugh as well, only I'm not sure how successful I'm going to be at that, but we'll give it a go. Now, thank you so much for writing in. I really appreciate it, and you're in Melbourne, Australia. Now, you've been asking about a business idea. Can I just get what industry you've been looking at doing that in?
Well, I have been doing dressmaking for quite some time and been exploring quite a few avenues. But it seems like every single idea I have has some sort of invisible roadblock. People walk away or don't come back or don't call back. It just everything seems to end up in nowhere. Quite a few ideas that I thought were really, really good and worked for many people before and after, to be honest, they just seem to not work for me. And as much as I enjoy doing it, it doesn't seem to bring any financial gain. Quite the opposite, actually, most of the time.
Yep.
So I was just thinking if that's the thing that I should be doing.
Look, I think the thing is that your dressmaking actually comes from the heart, but the heart is quite exhausted right now, and so is the head. There's a real, it's just too much, you know. I would say that for the short term, if we take a quote-unquote day job for now, and we earn some dollars, even if you have a part-time day job for now, just to give you stability while you rebuild new ideas, that's going to help you. But there's a lot of burnout with this at the moment, and this year for you is an 8-year. Your day of birth is 8, and your 6 life path number, 2015, was your 6th year. There's been, and it was an 8-year in 2015 as well. So I do think you're coming out the side of what's been a lot of different, just cascading one thing on top of the other, like snowball, if that makes sense. So you can feel like luck's not on your side, but that's not going to always be how it's going to be. I just feel it's a particularly difficult and challenging time to get anything off the ground at the moment. And I just feel like you need the support and security of, as long as I turn up to work and do, you know, a good job, then that's fine, the money's there. That's easier for you at the moment to regroup yourself and then come back to it. That's going to help you a lot. I actually feel as well, you're really good at organising people and very good at organising and attention to detail. So, you know, there's a lot there of skills that I think maybe you don't realise that you've got. And in a way, you know, that can have you thinking, well, that means I need to go and, you know, be more in this sort of area here, when at the moment to regroup yourself and really to step away, and, you know, by stepping out and away from it, you can see it clearly, whereas when you're in the middle of it, it can just be so overwhelming. And I'm really feeling all of your heart sort of pouring into it, and, you know, in the middle, knee deep, can't see the forest for the trees, so to speak. And by stepping back for a short time, that doesn't mean stepping out of it altogether and going, I give up. It just means taking a time, stepping out a bit here, breathe, and, you know, just take the work that pays and gives you comfort. Then that's going to give you a new lease on life with this. When we look at 2018 onwards, you know, 2018 is still clearing out the old stuff. 2020, you're going to be zooming, and the whole way in which you go about setting all of this up to be your own business actually starts to work, because entirely different methodologies and approach is being used to actually you know, get it happening and get it successful, and getting the correct treatment back. I actually feel as well, it's like you felt unheard and unappreciated here in some of the attitudes of the people that have come your way. And so by going temporarily, and I do mean temporarily, you know, back into, you know, whether it's part-time or full-time, you know, job for now, that's going to make a massive difference to you. So I hope that gives you some insight and some, you know, some thinking points to get you started on the go. You will end up being successful and self-employed in this, though.
Thank you.
Monetarily.
Because I was, even at some stage, I thought maybe I should be going into teaching more than actually making something with my hands. Maybe that will be more successful as an endeavor. Because, yes, as you completely correctly said just before, I feel as I have been putting more than getting back, you know, from people. Definitely go towards a teaching, my dear. I'm going to have to get off the line very quickly, but go towards a teaching. Do that. It's still part of the work, okay? That's very important for you. I hope that helps you today, Lena. I'll be making touch with you off air and just finishing off what I'm going to say. In the meantime, everyone, thank you so much for watching, listening. Sorry I can't get through to everyone. We'll catch you same bat time and channel next week on Soulstar Radio. In the meantime, kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Someone singing, my lord. Kumbaya.